are extruded through bronze die. The bronze die is basically gives the pasta a really rough texture on the outside. A standard pasta will be extruded through a Teflon die, so a plastic die, so it makes them really smooth. But it's really fast. It's a fast process, so that's why it's used. But the rough die gives a really high surface area, which means it catches the sauce, and it makes for a much better eat because you've got the pasta fully covered. One standard is going to run away from the actual pasta, and the other part is the drying process. Basically, the finest pasta are dried really slowly. The town is the home of pasta, basically because it was getting the wind from the Naples area coming into the valley, and by bringing that salted wind, it was drying the pasta. So they were hanging the pasta in the street on sticks and getting them to dry over a few days.
Wow.
So
do they still do that now?
No, they don't do that anymore. Now they do them inside, but they have to have the geographical protection. It has to come from that town and respect certain rules, and the drying process is one of it. It needs to be at least 23 hours. So these pasta are dried for 30 hours. So they put on sticks like this, and they explain why they've got that shape.
And is this available in the shops already?
So that's going on in the shops this week.
This week, okay.
And basically everything combined, the protein content, that's actually the best pasta you can buy.
And remind me, what's the protein content?
The protein, 14 grams of protein.
14 grams?
14.
Per 100 grams?
Per 100 grams.
Okay.
So a standard pasta will be on 12 and a half, and that's 14. And just to give you a number, so Italian wheat, they produce a lot of wheat, but 14 grams of protein is 0.57% of their production. Tiny volume. Everything is lower in protein, so it's only the best of the best wheat. And we're quite lucky because it's finest from Tesco, so it's still decent volumes. So we're quite lucky to have a supplier that's been able to secure that volume for us.
Wow.
And so we're the only one with 14 grams of protein.
And who's the supplier again?
And it's the Giuseppe Di Martino. So it's a third generation supplier.
Okay.
That's his family started the business. They've been going on for more. They did their 100 years last year actually. But just on 100 years, and he was born. You've got the factory in the middle of town, and their house is within the factory walls. So
wow.
He lived in, he was raised in the factory and extremely passionate.
So if I make it for my son, I'll really notice that the sauce sticks to it much more.
Yeah, you will,
because of the roughness of it.
Yeah, exactly. But the most important thing you're going to notice is the actual bite of the pasta. It's got amazing texture. It's it really has a stronger bite. When you cook it, it takes a lot longer to cook.
But because of the high protein content, he'll stay fuller for longer as well.
You will as well.
Yeah.
You got a higher protein. I guess between 13.5 and 14. In terms of being full, I think. I'm not sure it make a huge difference, but in terms of the eating, it is a big difference, and you really feel. And I've distributed that around the office for people to try, and everyone has tried it. They're cursing me now because they can't go back to standard pasta.
Oh.
So, but it is the Italian. That's a hero of the dish. It's not the sauce. It's they want the pasta to taste good. And
I did the same thing to my friend. She thought she loved green tea, and I introduced her to Japanese green tea, and now she can never have Chinese. Once you taste something better.
That's it. Once you're used to something good, it's difficult to go back. And the other point is, it's about customer education as well. Personally, I didn't know that much before I went and worked with these guys. But each shape of pasta, in Italy they've got more than 400 shapes of pasta. But each shape goes with a specific range of ingredients, with specific sauce.
Wow.
Because you take penne, for example, which are tube. You actually, if you get chunks, they will get caught within the tube. So that works well with the chunky sauce.
Oh, I see.
But if you get spaghetti bolognese, for example, to the Italian, it's a no, because you haven't got a surface area to catch all the mince. So then you use tagliatelle or something like that with the mince. Spaghetti would be just with a tomato sauce. Simple, just the sauce so that it really sticks to it. So it's all, it's fascinating to understand.
And are you Italian yourself?
Sorry?
Are you Italian?
I'm French myself.
Oh, okay.
So I even supporting the Italian, but it's after trying it, you understand why, and that product is actually one of our hero products, where there's going to be a lot of marketing behind it because we're so proud of it. It's basically the best pasta you can get in the UK.